How's it going, everybody? Jason Levantre here from RTV Incorporated at RealTourVision.com. Today we're going to talk about syndication on and syndication off. What's the difference, why it matters, and why you need to know how to utilize this setting so that you can set yourself up for success. So, many of you have probably seen recently that in our projects, there is a small label that is over all of your projects now with either a red syndication or a green syndication. Red obviously means off and green means go. We have recently added the ability for you to search through all of your projects at RTV that are being syndicated and that are not being syndicated. So syndication on, syndication off. What is syndication? Simply put, this setting, which can be found on the information page. So we can see here on Elk Lake Drive, for example, with Don, this is set to green. And this is essentially saying this project is ready to be seen by the world. This is a listing that is live. It's out on the MLS. It is ready for everyone to view it. And most importantly, let the world know that the listing is for sale. So it's important for you to know as a media provider that there are some risks involved in displaying media and properties for sale when maybe that property isn't yet listed. So you need to really be cognizant of that, and you need to realize that as soon as this is green here, it's going to show up in your list as green. Green, again, typically means that that listing is live on the MLS. It's okay for anyone out in the world to view that project and know that that agent is representing that seller and that that property is for sale. As a real estate photographer, there are most often you are going to be photographing these listings before they are actually listed and that they're marked as for sale. So it's important that you don't push them out there. Once you push them out there, meaning once you hit the syndicate button, that project is going to go into that agent's listing gallery as well as your own. So all of you as an RTV real estate photographer using our system, you've got a vast gallery with all of your projects that are marked green. These are all of your recent projects that you've completed and that should really be listings that are for sale or commercial projects that you are wanting to show off. So in the case of this listing gallery here for Don, these are all of his for sale properties, and you'll notice some of them are sold. A lot of agents will use their listing gallery in their listing presentations. Here's some of my last projects that I've done. Here's some of the last homes where I've represented the sellers, and these are the media and these are the marketing and media tools that I've utilized to get this property sold. So what you want to really be cognizant of is whether or not you are marking this green as default on or off. I personally recommend that you have it off, but the laws are different in every state. For example, I have heard in Georgia, for example, it is okay to announce a listing that's coming up as long as it says coming soon, okay? But in Traverse City, where we're at, we are not allowed to show properties that are not listed yet. So this red one, any of these red ones that are marked, you can see that I'm on page 5. As I go back, I'm going to see less and less green. As I go back, all of these are projects that are not yet listed. So it's super important that you take note of this and you figure out when a property goes live. You can finish it off. You see a lot of these are as I get further and further back into our newer orders. Most of them are red. So we're going to go back to page 5 here. So how do we do this and what are the settings? It's pretty simple. So if it's marked green here, you know that it is being seen by the world. Seen by the world, meaning that that agent, it's going to show up in that agent's gallery. Well, can anybody see that? The answer is yes. Let's take a look at the SERPs, search engine results pages. All right, let me pause this. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick Google search here. And we see that there are a couple of pages that rank for Beulah virtual tours, for example. I'm going to click on John Zickert here. He's one of our great customers. But you can see that my gallery page is ranking. The gallery pages rank very well. So this is John's page. To play it safe, all of the properties being displayed in a publicly viewable gallery should actually be live listings. And so to be safe, if these listings aren't live on the MLS, you should really have them set to red, meaning off. They're not ready yet, they're not on the MLS. And it's easy enough to do. And so what you want to do, I'm going to leave that page. What you would want to do is you would want to set your default to off, and that can be done under the syndication page. You can see that I have my syndicate set to off, because after we find out that a property has gone live on the MLS, we populate it with the data, either copying and pasting it in or using our easy MLS, and then at the very last step we save it, and then we turn the syndicate on. And it's real easy to turn that on. That's done right through here on the information page. You simply click the on, or if an agent tells you, hey, this is going to go live on Friday, you leave that set to red and you pick a date that you know it's going to go live. You tell the agent, all right, I'm going to make that pop in your gallery on Friday, and that's going to happen at 9 a.m. on any date. So the syndicate to project gallery and RSS is twofold. One, it's going to put the project in their gallery, and it is going to be publicly viewable. There are some risks for those of you that that may not know the law. It's important for you to know the law, because if you're announcing or showing a property that might be maybe a pocket listing or a private listing, or even a listing that's just not yet live, for you to throw it out there via your pages that might be ranking in the search engines when someone Googles that address, because that our projects do rank very well, or heaven forbid, sending out a hot sheet. So this is the hot sheet. Many of you have seen this before. These are all new listings. It won't go in your hot sheet if it is marked, if that project is marked red. It's not going to go out. So those are things you want to keep in mind. Let's take just a quick minute here and look at those syndication settings. You can get to your master syndication settings by clicking Settings, Syndication. There's a couple things that I want to point out. So this is going to set your default. If you want to take the least amount of risk that not getting a project put out there for the world to see before it's actually listed, you're going to flip this off. So the very final step that you will take on a project will be adding the MLS data, flipping the switch to green so that it goes out in the project galleries, and it goes out into your RSS feeds, and then clicking save. At Blue Lava Media, we leave ours red, and we do not, so we have that off. We leave it red until we're ready, okay? A couple things to point out: project syndication. Do you want to syndicate your tours or your tours and your property websites? Let's take a look at really what does this mean? On your gallery page, you have the ability to display tours, property sites. At Blue Lava Media, we only syndicate property websites. It's very simple. We show the property website, and we have the tour embedded into the property website in the very middle. So here's the property website. You see the virtual tours embedded here. Somebody can buzz through that and look at the maybe floor plan or additional media or anything. So that we have the virtual tour embedded into the property website. If you want both on, I don't recommend having both on, it's just complicating. This is what it would look like with both turned on. In my opinion, the property website has, oh, I thought I refreshed it, here we go. In my opinion, the property website has more data and is more relevant. It's got all the MLS information, it just looks nicer. The tour is very much its own individual entity, whereas the property website is going to have several components from the hero, maybe your Zillow 3D, maybe your, not that the tour wouldn't have that, the tour would have it in there, but it's easier to see. Local weather, of course, and here's one, perfect, this one has a Zillow on it. So it's just, to me, I think I already know that my traffic reports are higher when I use property websites. The people stay on the projects longer than when I use tours. So I only syndicate my property websites to my customers' galleries, to the Blue Lava Media Gallery, and to my RSS feeds for the hot sheet. Let's talk real briefly about that. So if you have both of these turned on, your hot sheet is going to pull the virtual tours. Okay? If you turn the tours off, your hot sheet is going to show the property website. If you have obviously the property website turned off and the tour on, it is going to show the tour. But if they're both on, the hot sheet code is only going to display tours. So keep that in mind when you're setting up these settings. So if you want to match Blue Lavas, you will make it a point to turn Syndicate on as a final step in your project creation. So that means you're going to come back here. Once you know this goes live, you're more than likely going to use your Easy MLS. So Easy MLS, boom, look up the property, let it populate all this for you, hit save. That final step is to hit the Syndicate button. When you hit save there, it's going to show up in your customers listing gallery page, which you have full control of. You can set the metadata, you can set the background, as you see we've done here for Don. It's really a beautiful gallery that ranks in the search engines and that your customers can use during listing presentations to not only show active projects that they've ordered through you, but also sold projects that they have completed using your marketing services. So I want all of you to know the difference when you go into your projects and you see the red. Nothing to be alarmed about. It just means that you haven't flipped that to green, and you should probably look at your default settings. When a project is completely ready to be seen by the world, you should go ahead, go in, like this one here, boom, and flip it green. So keep that in mind, and I hope this helps. If you have any questions, give us a call, schedule a power session. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Have a great day.